Right, so today I'm going to give you my first impressions on what I think of Hitman Absolution from playing it so far. Now, as some of you may know or may not know, I assume if you watch my PS2 collection, you might know I'm a huge fan of Hitman. Huge. As you can see right here, I have all three Hitmans. I also had Codename 47, the very first Hitman, on PC, but it kind of broke and I never really got back to getting it, so yeah. But this, so far from what I've played, the game is incredible. Really, really good. Graphically, it is amazing. Stunning graphics, especially in bright, lit up, well lit up areas. For example, you're outside. It's really, really graphically stunning. I'm really loving the graphics. Of course, this time round, there is no more business between Agent 47. It's strictly personal. He's doing something that he doesn't get paid to do anymore, but he's actually doing it for his own will, on his own will. He wants to do it himself. I don't want to spoil much of the story, but basically, I'm sure you already know. The prologue at the beginning, he actually gets contracted to kill Diana. If you don't know who Diana is his old handler. She took care of all his contracts. She guided him the whole way, and she's pretty much the voice of Agent 47. Until she turned rogue against the agency for a very good reason, which I'm not going to get into full detail, but he was contracted to kill her before finding out why she was contracted to be killed in the first place. And basically this whole thing leads up to him protecting this girl who Diana said was a very important piece. And basically the agency then try and track down Agent 47 and kill him. So it's a very, very personal story going on. But I'm really loving it. It's a really good story. I've just done Streets of Hope. If you've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, Streets of Hope is pretty much the one that they show most on YouTube from the demo stages. Now, before I get into any more, I also want to say I did get Borderlands 2. I have never played Borderlands, never been a fan of Borderlands, don't even know what it was about. All I know is that it took place on some weird setting, destination, location called Pandora. That's all I knew. I bought it. It was extremely cheap off Amazon, and I'm loving the game. It's really good. I'm really liking it. I love the whole. I'm not sure if it's. I think it's cell shaded that I call it. I don't know if there's another technical word for it, but I think it is cell shaded. But I'm just loving it. Really good. But of course, I haven't got back to it in a while because I've been playing Hitman today. But yeah, got that. So back to Hitman. So basically, when you start the game, it comes up with two options. It has contracts, which I haven't tried yet. It's not because I haven't bothered. It's because the servers are still down, which is quite a bummer because I was actually looking forward to testing out contracts. But I'm gonna get down to the thing I want to talk about most, and that is the feedback people have been given this game, or the comments people have been given this game before actually knowing what it's about. So, since Absolution was announced, it gained a lot of new fan base, a lot of new fans who never got introduced to the franchise before. That's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. The bad thing about it is that they think they know everything when they don't. I've seen tons of arguments over YouTube, which I've gladly joined in, just to make my point, get my point across. which basically they just make this game look so shit, and they're trying to make people to not buy it when they have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, I've seen about what 3 or 4 people on YouTube just bragging about it. They've commented about 10 times on this subject about how boring it is because it's not a fast-paced action game. Well, of course it's not, because it's a stealth game. It's meant for stealth. You don't exactly go into a room and shoot everyone you want, even though you can, but it's not the way of Hitman. Hitman's all about precision, precise timing. You know what you're going to do before you do it. You have everything planned out before it happens. That's what Hitman's all about, and that's what makes it fun. Because you can make such a gruesome kill look like such a tiny accident. It's unbelievable, and that's what's so good about Hitman, and that's what got me into Hitman in the first place back in 2002, which Silent Assassin was actually my first Hitman that I played back in 2002. Then I went back to Codename 47. But this game is amazing, and it's definitely a Game of the Year contender, if not Game of the Year, without a shadow of a doubt for me. I don't really see any other games grabbing that Game of the Year slot this year. You know, I hear quite a lot of people saying Assassin's Creed. I was very disappointed with Assassin's Creed. I don't know, it was just so overhyped, and for that reason it pissed me off. I haven't touched it in over 2 weeks now, and that's how, you know, boring it got. I haven't completed the story. I usually just go on it to play online. It was not that good. Dishonored, that has a very, very good chance of becoming Game of the Year. And that's about it, seriously. Either than that, Max Payne, probably. But apart from that, Hitman definitely could be Game of the Year. A lot of people also say Borderlands 2. I'm up for that, I don't mind. Borderlands 2 is a pretty good game. But when it comes to graphics, when it comes to a brilliant story, everything combined into one, Hitman is that game. Definitely deserves to get Game of the Year. Now, we're still waiting on one game which could grab that spot, and that is Far Cry 3, which looks amazing. But seriously, if you're thinking of picking Hitman up, even though you've never played a Hitman game, definitely pick this one up, because it's a brilliant way to start off in the franchise, because it's nothing to do with the past. I mean, it has some, you know, gimmicky comedy type stuff that it, you know, kind of reminds you of the past. You know, it has a lot of nostalgia, is what I meant to say. It reminds you a lot of the past games. That's what I'm trying to say. But you do not need to play the old games to get into this one. I would just recommend you play Blood Money, because Blood Money is definitely the one that took Hitman to new heights, new levels that it had never been to. So I would say Blood Money is definitely the one to try out if you don't want to get Absolution straight away, because it is quite expensive now. You know, it just came out. But apart from that, this game is amazing. I'm loving it every step of the way, and this, for me, is my Game of the Year. No doubts. No doubts whatsoever. This is my Game of the Year. I'm a huge Hitman fan, as I've told you 100 times. So yeah, this has been like a little impression, you know, first impression video, just talking about what I think of the game. And yeah, if you're thinking of getting a game or anything to do with that, leave a comment, you know, ask me some questions about the game, you know, something you'd like to know, and I'll try and help. But yeah, this was kind of my first impressions on Hitman. Stay tuned for whatever I'm going to do next, I don't know. Yeah, see ya.